So in this video, I'm sharing few tips that will make you great managers and you will not have tough time managing your team. So if that is something that interests you, keep on watching. Number one thing is cultivating a mindset that it's no longer about you. Now it's about your team. A lot of first time managers fail at this point only. They start comparing the performances, the hikes of their team or team members with themselves. That this was not something I was earning when I was at this level. So why should I give this much hike or this much appreciation to this person? So guys, you have to just tell yourself that it's not about you anymore. It's not about you. It's not your journey. Now it's all about the team. Your potential, your growth in the company, your potential in the company will be measured by the fact that how successful is your team, not how successfully you do your individual contribution. So stop comparing little things with your team. Say for example, you're hiring some senior guy in your team and that guy happens to have higher CTC than what you already have. Do not judge that person by that. Please try to evaluate that person on his or her genuine skill set. If you feel the person has genuine skills and will add a lot of value to your team, then please do not go by the CTC thing. That happens with everybody. Sooner or later you will also rise above and you will also have that kind of CTC, but now it's about your team. What kind of people your team needs, and whatever that need is at any given point of time, you have to fulfill that to make sure that your team is successful. Whatever project comes to you is done in a phenomenal way. That's your prime job. So stop comparing and stop thinking like an individual contributor. Second thing that you must keep in your mind always is that not everybody in your team is going to be a top performer. That is just not possible. You will need variety of people in your team. If you just hire top performers, that doesn't guarantee any better success or any success at all. You will need people of all kind, people from all level of skill set. Obviously you need a Virat Kohli in your team, but you also need Rahul Dravid in your team. So start valuing people based on their unique traits, something that is unique to them. They are really good at that. Try to harness their potential through that route, whatever they are naturally good at. If there's a person in the team who doesn't talk much but is a great performer, then handle that person that way. Don't expect that person to become extrovert overnight and expect that person to behave like others. Do not do that. People in your team have different approach to do a certain task, then let them do it that way because that's their best. That is their approach to give the best results. So let it be. That is the only way you can have best out of everyone. If you try to force a single kind of working style, a single approach to the deliverables, chances are some of them will not perform at their best, and obviously then the quality of the work will be hampered, and that's not something you can afford as a manager. Number 3, whenever you hire people in your team, start with trust. Most of the managers, especially first-time managers, I have seen this, they start with judgment, and especially if they have offered some good package to a person, they'll be like, oh, let me see what kind of rock star this person is and how much he or she can perform. Let me dump all the difficult work and let me see how this person is going to handle. Let me put the person in stress. Let me see how they manage the stress and all of that stuff. Do not do that. Try to start with trust. Have trust in the person that you have hired the right person, and sooner or later the person will start delivering the best. And give some space to that person to settle down so that he or she can understand the system, policies, and the company better. And from my experience, I can tell you that managers who give people enough space and time to understand things and processes and who set expectations the right way, those candidates or those new hires tends to become the excellent performers over time. So you have to give that benefit of doubt to every single hire that you do. Obviously, this does not mean that everybody you hire will turn out a great hire. There will be cases where you'll be disappointed to see that this is not something you expected from this hire and this seems like a wrong hire. All of that will happen for sure because that's a part of people management. You cannot avoid that. But you have to first start with trust. You have to give the person ample amount of time and chances to prove themselves and to eventually become great performers. Number 4, if you want your team to be more vocal and open and approachable, then you will have to first showcase those skills. You have to be more open, you have to be more approachable yourself, you have to be more helpful, you have to be a good listener, and you have to show to them that you really care. If you want your team also to show these skills, managers who are open and approachable themselves, their team tends to be like that somehow. I've seen this over and over again with so many companies. It's just a fact. So if you want your team to be more caring about their responsibilities, more caring about each other, should be available to fill in for each other and all of that good stuff, then you will have to showcase that first. You will have to take that first step so that they feel comfortable opening up and sharing whatever they want to share. Next on the list is develop a culture of teamwork. If there is something that has gone wrong, then it is everybody's responsibility. If there is something that has gone remarkably well, then treat the whole team for that. Build a culture so that every team member of yours think that the work, the project that they have received, it's everybody's responsibility. The success of that project is everybody's responsibility. It's not so that if one person has got one piece of that project, so that person has to just finish that and not care about anything else. And if another team member needs help, then this person feels like it's not my job. Do not build that kind of culture, because it will eventually harm your team, overall performance of your team. Your efficacy as a manager will be judged basis all these points, because management really doesn't care what went wrong. They will come back to you and ask why this is not done or why this has gone wrong. They really don't care who messed it up, but to whom this person was reporting to. So this is all they care. So make sure that you set the priority for teamwork from the day one with every single team member of yours. Next on the list is be very thorough with company's policies and compliance. Your team members' seriousness about any policy or compliance of the company is equally proportional to how seriously you take it. If you take any policy or compliance casually and your team members often find you just violating the policies and compliance, they will do the same, and then you can't really blame them because they are following what they see. So make sure that first you are aware with all the compliance and policies, and second that you follow all of those regulations yourself. Only then you can expect your team to do so, and to do so on time. And next very important point is try to represent company's vision, growth plans with your team every now and then. This will give them a sense of direction, a sense of purpose. They will feel more engaged while working on their project, because it's human tendency. If you tell them that the project they are doing is going to go in that direction, or the successful delivery of this project will kind of bring 2 more projects from the same client, or maybe a different client, or maybe the company is trying to acquire some client in a new technology space, then you share all that, people might equip themselves with a new skill set. They might want to learn something, train themselves on that skills if that is of their interest. So this will help them feel more engaged in their work, and they'll feel connected to the company, and they'll feel whatever they are doing is worth for the company, and companies actually valuing the work that they are doing. So though it's very simple step for the managers, because most of them sit in management meetings, they know what's going to happen next, and they have a lot of information with themselves, but most of the managers do not share such thing with their team members. I don't know why. Maybe they feel that holding that information, holding that sensitive information will give them more power, or I don't know how that framework works, but it's not so. You will then end up with a team which is very demotivated, where people do not want to work for longer, are not satisfied. And if you really care about them, and if you want them to feel more engaged in the work, then please do not shy away from sharing the information that you get from the top. I'm not saying to share everything. Obviously there will be things which are not relevant to them or will do more harm to them if they know. Do not share all of that, but as much as you can, the information that you think will benefit the team, please share that. So guys, these were quick points that you must keep in your mind to be great managers, to manage your team well. Let's quickly take a look at the summary of today's video, and I really hope these notes, these tips helps you somewhere in your career. With that, we came to the end of this video. I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the Corporate Diaries to be corporate ready, and I will see you in my next one. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.